Hello crochet lovers, welcome back to another easy tutorial for absolute beginners. Today we will work on working into a magic ring. Alright, so if your project asks to be worked in rounds, you work in a magic ring. So there's already a tutorial on my channel on how to make a magic ring. So we start by doing the same. We take the tail of the yarn, wrap it over two fingers to make an X, like so. We go under the loop that we've put on our fingers and pull through the working yarn, and there you go. A magic ring has been made. Right? So this gives you this kind of knot, hangman's noose kind of situation, and we now work into it. So because I've made this chain 1 already in the magic ring, I can pull it tight or pull it loose depending upon however many stitches I want to put into the round, the ring itself. So working into the ring means you are putting stitches inside the ring. So if your project asks for a single crochet, there's a tutorial for a single crochet on how to make a single crochet, but we'll see that today as well. Your magic ring may also require a double or a triple crochet as per the pattern that you're following. So I'm going to be using a single crochet to work into this ring. So a magic ring is in my hand. I've got a single loop on my crochet hook, and I will be using this as a stitch marker. You can use anything that is around the house, anything that you can insert as a reminder for yourself. If you're especially a beginner, highly recommended. So this is the magic ring, loop on the hook. What I do is a single crochet as usual, single loop on the hook. I insert it under both the pieces of yarn that I'm holding right here. This is my working yarn on the hand. I've got the tail of the yarn over here, which helps me adjust the size, and then I've got this loop. So I hold both the tail and the loop, and on the hook I've got this single loop because of the chain 1 that I made. I insert it in both of the loops that I'm holding, hook the working yarn, or what I call as a yarn over. So you can do either yarn under or a yarn over, whatever. No need to get confused with the language that is written. Essentially you just hook your yarn, working yarn, and bring it through the loop like so. Now I've got 2 loops on my hook. I yarn over again and pull through. That is a single crochet already done. 1 single crochet. I'll work 6 into this ring, and that will be my starting ring, right? So 1 already done, single crochet. I do the same. I hold both the tail and the magic ring loop in my left hand, which is my non-dominant hand. In my dominant hand is the hook with a single loop now. I insert it inside both the yarns that I'm holding, and on the working yarn I yarn over, pull through the ring. Now I've got 2 loops on my ring, on my hook, and I yarn over again, pull through both. My tension of holding this hook as well as what's on my hand should be essentially loose, not too tight, not too loose, otherwise your stitches will be of different sizes. So for beginners it takes a bit of practice, but it's a fairly easy thing to work on. So we do again, we've got 2 stitches. Now I'm going to do the same thing, hold both the tail and the loop, put my hook through both of them, yarn over the working yarn, 2 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through again. We try it one more time. This is a magic ring that allows you to work in rounds whenever your project asks for the same. There are other ways. If you find this tough to work with, there are other ways as well. But if you can learn this, it's a beautiful starting step for projects that are worked in rounds, because you can adjust the size of the loop as you go, and I'll show you how that works. So now I've got 1. This was the first stitch here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have again got only one loop on my hook. Now what I do is I close this magic ring, or like patterns will have, pull the magic ring close. So what I need to do is leave my yarn, working yarn aside. I've got this tail in my left hand and this loop, leftover loop that we were working in, the magic ring that we were working in. So I simply pull the tail out and you can see that the loop is getting tightened. And there you go. You've got 6 stitches worked into the magic ring. I can have 9, 10, 4 stitches in the magic ring as per the pattern requirement. All you need to do is pull your magic ring close. Now if your starting loop and the single chain that you made at the beginning was too tight, then this will be a little hard to do. All you need to do is unravel it and try it again, that's all. So I've got 6 single crochets in my magic ring, and what I do now, just to track this last one, especially for beginners, it's usually quite confusing, is put a stitch marker or anything that you can work with as a safety spot to tell you what is the starting point or the end point of your starting, end, chain, or whatever it is that you're working on. So this tail continues to hang. I let it be because I've already pulled the loop closed. You can see it's a circle now with 6 single crochet. I will make a slip stitch. A slip stitch is essentially not to be counted as a stitch itself, right? It means that you're now closing your round in a manner that does not add to the number of stitches. So what I've done is inserted the single loop on my hook. I've just inserted it in the first stitch that I made, single stitch that I made into the magic ring, like so. Yarn over. I've got 2 loops on my hook now, but I don't yarn over again like a single crochet. I just pull through the pre-existing loop that was already there. So now I've got a slip stitch going, and the number of stitches counted is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is a 6. So now I've again got 6 stitches. So this slip stitch is not going to be counted. Now if I have to work into these 6 stitches, what I have to do is chain 1 and you work a single crochet in this, or a couple of crochet stitches as expected, and you continue working around, right? So what I'm doing is adding stitches to the ring itself, and I will have a separate tutorial on what I have just done, which is called as a increase, right? Whether working in a circle or working in a straight flat project, an increase is pretty much the same thing. I'll show you in a separate tutorial what an increase looks like. So this was the last stitch that we had made in round 1. I've taken out my stitch marker and I put a couple of stitches here as well. I put 2 stitches in each of the stitches that I had made in round 1. So that was 6 stitches. These are now 12 stitches. You've already worked in a round and you've added another round to the magic ring. And that is how a magic ring is worked in. I hope this was helpful. Bye.